Did you hear about Maya?
I know, Richard got the promotion instead. It's unbelievable. I am bringing this to your attention because it violates company policy. I expect a full investigation into his conduct.
Yeah.
Role needs someone authoritative. Maya blinks once. I've led this team for 3 years, she says. They already follow me. Richard smiles, the kind that never reaches the eyes. Leadership isn't just numbers, Maya. It's presence. A pause. And frankly, he adds, lowering his voice, some people respond better to a certain energy. Her chest tightens. She watches him slide her file to the side. Not closed. Dismissed. Outside the glass wall, co-workers pretend not to stare. So I'm not qualified. Maya asks. Richard leans back. Your excellent support. But director is a big leap. He taps the table once. We went with someone safer. Her ears ring. Safer than what? She stands slowly. Her legs feel hollow. Thank you for your honesty, she says. Richard nods, already reaching for his phone. As Maya opens the door, he adds, casual and sharp. Don't make this about gender. That never ends well. The door clicks shut behind her. The hallway feels narrower than before. Her phone vibrates in her pocket. An unknown number. Text, are you still interested in the director role? The board would like to meet today. Maya stops walking. Her breath catches. Behind her, the conference room door opens. Richard's voice calls out. Maya, one more thing. She turns. And everything changes. Maya walks back to her desk slowly. The office feels louder than before. Keyboards clack. Phones ring. Laughter bursts and dies. No one looks at her. She sits. Opens her laptop. The screen blurs. Her hands tremble, so she folds them together. Across the aisle, Evan grins at someone. He doesn't see her watching. Or he pretends not to. Maya hears Richard's words again. Authoritative. Safer. She exhales through her nose. Lena slides into the chair beside her. Did you get it? Lena whispers. Maya keeps her eyes forward. No. Lena's face tightens. What did he say? Maya hesitates. The pause feels dangerous. He said I'm good support. Lena scoffs. You run half this floor. Maya shrugs. Apparently that's not leadership. A shadow falls across her desk. Richard stands there, smiling. Maya, quick word. The office quiets without trying to. She stands. They walk toward the hallway. Richard's voice is low now. I hope you're taking this professionally. Maya nods. I always do. He stops near the copy room. Good, because I'd hate for this to turn into something uncomfortable. She looks at him. Uncomfortable how? He sighs, patient. Complaints. Misunderstandings. Labels. Her stomach drops. I earned that promotion, she says. Richard's smile fades for half a second. Careful. The word lands heavy. Careful with what? With narratives, he says. This company values harmony. Maya feels heat rise in her chest. Harmony for who? Richard glances around. Lowers his voice further. You don't want to be seen as difficult. Silence presses in. I just want fairness, Maya says. Richard straightens. Fairness isn't always equal outcomes. He steps closer. You're talented. Don't ruin that by pushing. Her throat tightens. Is that a threat? Richard chuckles softly. It's advice. A printer whirs behind them. Take a few days, he adds. Reflect. He pats her shoulder. Too familiar. And Maya? She meets his eyes. This place can be very small for people who don't fit. He walks away. Maya stays still. Her phone vibrates. Unknown number again. She opens the message. Text, board meeting confirmed. 4 p.m. Confidential. Her heart pounds. She types slowly. Text, yes. I'm available. She deletes the thread. Back at her desk, Lena watches her carefully. You okay? Lena asks. Maya nods. I will be. She opens a blank document. The cursor blinks. Across the room, Richard laughs with Evan. Maya stays at the screen. She thinks of all the times she stayed late. Stayed quiet. Stayed polite. Her jaw sets. The cursor blinks again. This time, she doesn't look away. Maya walks into the sleek lobby of the partner firm. Glass walls, polished floors, quiet hum of elevators. The kind of space designed to intimidate as much as impress. A woman in a navy blazer approaches. Mid-40s, confident, brisk walk. Maya Carter. Yes, Maya replies, voice steady. I'm Karen Liu. Board operations. Follow me. Maya falls in step, heels clicking on marble. She notices the subtle security measures, ID checks, cameras. Everything controlled. Everything watched. You were recommended highly by your former company, Karen says, her voice neutral but firm. Maya arches an eyebrow. They didn't promote me, she says. Karen glances sideways. Underutilized, they said. It happens more than you think. The corridor ends in a boardroom. 5 executives wait, sharp eyes. Papers, tablets, screens ready. Ms. Carter, the chairman says, voice low, measured. We've reviewed patterns in your sector. We know how bias affects outcomes. Maya sits, absorbing each face. Each evaluation. You're aware your previous company repeatedly overlooked qualified women? He asks. Yes, she says. I lived it. One of the board members slides a folder toward her. Audit notes, promotion timelines, pay discrepancies. We want someone who understands both operations and culture, the chairman says. Maya flips through the folder. Her own career laid bare in charts and stats. And you want me to lead people who overlooked me? Maya asks, tone sharp. Exactly, the chairman says. Pause. We need someone who can navigate injustice without breaking the system. Maya exhales. Her chest rises, tension tight. A mixture of relief and fear floods her. I can do that, she says quietly. Good, Karen adds. Because we're offering you the director position. You'll have authority over multiple departments, including your previous one. The words hit her like a wave. Her stomach churns. The power, the responsibility, the danger, it all comes at once. Start date, she asks, trying to steady her voice. Immediately. The team expects action. Confidentially at first, until we announce. Maya leans back. The room is quiet. Each executive studying her, evaluating her resolve. She thinks of Richard, Evan, the HR manager, the silent co-workers. The weight of being dismissed, overlooked, and underestimated. I accept, she says. Her voice firm, unshakable. The chairman nods. Karen smiles, approving but unreadable. As she leaves the boardroom, Maya notices a subtle shift in her own posture. She is no longer merely a candidate. She is authority. They chose the right person, she whispers to herself. Her phone buzzes. Another unknown number. She ignores it. For now. Outside, the city stretches wide. Cars, pedestrians, windows reflecting power and hierarchy. Everything familiar feels different. I'm going to make them see, she murmurs. All of them. The chapter closes with her stepping into the elevator, the doors sliding shut on the polished lobby, and the board's confidential plan to place her in a position that could topple the old power structure. Cliffhanger. Maya is about to take control of the very system that undermined her, yet the stakes, and hidden dangers, have just begun. Maya steps back into her old office. Everything feels smaller somehow, the fluorescent lights harsher, the carpet worn, the air tighter. Her co-workers glance up as she passes. Eyes slide away. Whispers trail. She hears fragments. She's bold. Difficult. Wonder if she's going to quit. Maya sets her bag down and sits. Her inbox overflows. Memos she's not included in, updates she should be aware of, notices about meetings she isn't invited to. Hey, Maya, a co-worker says cautiously. Project Alpha, they moved you off it. Her chest tightens. Why? She asks, calm but biting. Management decided, he mumbles, eyes darting. She opens the email chain. Names removed. Decisions without justification. Authority silently stripped. Richard appears in the doorway, smile fixed, eyes calculating. Adjusting responsibilities, he says. It's for efficiency. Efficiency for whom? Maya asks. He tilts his head. Pauses. For the team, he says smoothly. You know, balance. Maya notices the subtle power play. Meetings rescheduled when she's unavailable, reports redirected, voices muting when she enters. Balance, she mutters under her breath. During lunch, HR schedules a mandatory conversation. We're concerned about your perception, the HR manager says. Some employees feel intimidated. Maya's jaw tightens. Intimidated by me? It's subjective, HR replies. We need to ensure harmony. Her hands curl into fists under the table. Microaggressions pile like bricks. Every smile, every nod, every subtle exclusion reinforces the system that pushed her aside. She steps outside for air. The wind hits her face. She closes her eyes. "I won't quit," she whispers. Her phone buzzes. Another confidential board message. She opens it, new organizational charts, timelines for interventions, strategies to expose bias without alerting Richard. Her mind races. She feels the weight of responsibility, but also a spark of hope. Back inside, Richard passes. Stops. Smiles. "Careful, Maya," he says, tone light. "We wouldn't want you labeled as difficult." She meets his gaze, steady. "Labels don't scare me," she says softly. The office hums around them. Everyone else pretends not to notice the tension. Later, Lena pulls her aside. "They are watching you," she says quietly. "Careful, Maya. Every move you make is monitored." "I know," Maya replies. "That's why I move differently now." The day stretches on. Maya feels the weight of isolation, the pressure to conform, the subtle reminders of how she's been sidelined. At her desk, she reviews the board documents. Patterns of favoritism, evidence of bias, previous complaints dismissed. She can feel the thread of injustice weaving a path to exposure. Her phone buzzes again. Another meeting invite. Confidential. The room, the stakes, the opportunity, it's all escalating. "Time to act," she whispers. She stands, straightens her blazer, and takes a deep breath. The camera of perception follows her as she moves toward Richard's office. Every step deliberate, measured, loaded with silent defiance. The chapter closes with her knocking on Richard's office door, a simple sound that carries the weight of confrontation, accountability, and the unseen forces she is about to challenge. Cliffhanger, Richard knows she's coming, but he doesn't yet understand how much power she now wields. Maya sits in the quiet conference room of the partner firm. The sunlight glints off the polished table. Karen Liu and the board executives wait patiently. "Ms. Carter," Karen begins, "we've reviewed your previous company's structure. Patterns of bias are clear. Decisions are repeatedly made to protect comfort, not competence." Maya listens, heart tight, pulse quickening. "We want you in a leadership role," Karen continues. "Director, overseeing multiple departments, including your previous company." Maya's eyes widen. The weight of it settles. This isn't just authority, this is leverage. Control. Justice. "I understand the risks," Maya says quietly. Karen nods. "You'll face resistance. You'll be watched. People will test limits, question your every move. They may try to undermine you." Maya swallows. Every late night, every overlooked report, every whispered judgment floods back. "I've been undermined before," she says firmly. "I can handle it." One of the board members leans forward. "There's more. Richard Hale will still be your subordinate initially. He's influential. Dangerous if mishandled." Maya exhales slowly. "Danger, yes, but also opportunity." "And the team?" she asks. "They respect results. But habits die hard. You'll need tact, strategy, and patience," Karen says. Maya nods, absorbing every word. Her mind races through every microaggression, every safer choice, every silent dismissal. "If I accept," Maya asks, voice steady, "do I have full authority to make decisions?" "Yes," Karen confirms. "You can restructure, redistribute, and implement changes as needed. Confidentially at first, until public announcement." Maya's pulse quickens. The path forward is risky, but the power she'll wield, finally, changes everything. "Start date?" she asks. "Immediately," Karen says. "We want action before your old company realizes what's happening." Maya leans back, absorbing the weight. The stakes are high. The threat's real. But the chance to correct the system, to expose bias, to assert her authority, it's worth it. "I accept," Maya says. Her tone leaves no doubt. Karen smiles approvingly. "We'll coordinate everything. Confidentially. Remember, you're walking into a hornet's nest. Strategic moves only." Maya exhales. The tension in her shoulders eases just slightly. She knows what she's stepping into, but also why she must. "I understand," she says. As she leaves the boardroom, her phone buzzes. Another message. A detailed agenda for her first day as director. It's precise, strategic, and exposes the cracks in her former company's structure. Walking down the corridor, Maya imagines Richard's face when he realizes the scope of her authority. "This time, I decide the rules," she whispers. Outside, the city stretches wide, the streets buzzing with life. The world feels the same, but for Maya, everything has shifted. The chapter closes with her boarding the elevator, the weight of responsibility and opportunity pressing against her. Every floor closer to the lobby brings her closer to confronting the people who doubted her most, and the system that failed her. Cliffhanger, Maya is now in a position to challenge Richard's authority, and her first moves could change everything. The conference hall buzzes with low chatter. Banners hang high, Strategic Leadership Summit. The room smells of polished wood, coffee, and subtle tension. Richard Hale adjusts his tie nervously. He scans the crowd, unaware of who will enter next. Maya steps in. The room shifts. Heads turn. Conversations falter. Silence creeps like a shadow across the polished floor. She's no longer the employee he dismissed. She's authority, every step deliberate, heels clicking with calm certainty. Maya! Richard mutters, frozen mid-step. Maya smiles faintly. Not a friendly smile, a controlled one, the kind that communicates both power and restraint. Director Carter, she says, voice even. I'll be overseeing your department. The room goes still. Everyone watches. Evan blinks, confusion on his face. He had assumed he'd be untouchable in his new role. Richard laughs, forced. Too loud. This is a joke, he says, turning slightly red. No joke, Maya replies, calm but sharp. Just accountability. Karen Liu steps forward. We coordinated with the board to place you in this position, she says to the audience. Maya's leadership is exactly what this department, and this company, needs. Richard's face tightens. The room's energy shifts. Whispers ripple through the audience. Microtension coils around the edges. You don't understand, Richard begins. I understand perfectly, Maya interrupts softly. Pause. Eyes steady. I've seen what happens when talent is overlooked. I know who benefits and who suffers. The murmurs rise. Richard looks around, desperate for support. Some colleagues avert their gaze. Some glance at the board members. None speak up. You've been warned, Maya continues. I intend to lead fairly, but I will enforce accountability. She moves past him to the podium, every step deliberate. Her presence dominates without aggression. Evan follows quietly, unsure whether to step forward or stay back. Maya opens her folder. Charts, audits, and timelines, evidence of favoritism, of bias, all ready to restructure the department effectively and justly. This is not revenge, she says, addressing the room. It's correction. Richard swallows hard. He had never seen her like this. Never imagined she could wield this much influence, so quietly, so decisively. The audience listens. Every word cuts through silence like a blade. The power dynamics are reversed. The air hums with tension. As Maya steps down from the podium, she scans the room. Colleagues who once ignored her now listen. Heads nod. Respect forms silently. Richard retreats toward the back, cornered by his own misjudgments. This is unexpected, he mutters under his breath. Maya exhales, calm, poised, in control. The chapter closes on her standing at the center of the room, authority realized, injustice exposed, the first stage of reckoning set. Cliffhanger, Richard's influence is threatened, but the full impact of Maya's authority, and the consequences for those who doubted her, has yet to unfold. The boardroom is quiet, tense. Papers, charts, and laptops cover the table. Maya sits at the head, authority radiating. Richard Hale is seated across from her, stiff, his usual confidence gone. We conducted a full audit, Karen Liu begins, voice firm. Promotion patterns, pay disparities, exit interviews. The results are clear. Slides flash on the screen, charts highlighting gender bias, overlooked promotions, unequal pay. The numbers are undeniable. Richard shifts in his chair, uncomfortable. I don't see, he begins, but Maya interrupts. You don't want to see, she says softly. The system protected comfort over competence. It's obvious to anyone willing to look. Karen continues, walking slowly around the room. Decisions consistently favored safe choices. Male colleagues promoted despite lesser performance. Complaints ignored. Talent sidelined. Richard swallows hard. Beads of sweat form at his temple. The silence is heavy. His influence, once unquestioned, is eroding before his eyes. So, what now? He asks quietly. Maya leans forward, calm but unyielding. Now, accountability. Policies revised. Processes transparent. Your department reports to me. Richard's jaw tightens. He opens his mouth but no words come. I won't erase history, Maya says, voice steady. But I will ensure it doesn't repeat. She clicks through the slides. Specific examples of favoritism. Coded language in performance reviews. Patterns of intimidation. Evidence Richard had tried to hide. This isn't personal, she continues. It's systemic. And it will change. The room holds its breath. Colleagues who once whispered now nod in quiet agreement. Some glance at Richard, realizing the shift. I didn't, he starts again. Intent doesn't erase impact, Maya interrupts. Pause. We measure outcomes, not excuses. Karen hands him a folder. You will cooperate fully, she says. Or face consequences. Richard looks down at the documents, policies, oversight, audits. His former authority now bounded by procedure and transparency. Maya glances around the room. She sees the subtle nods of understanding, the respect forming quietly. Institutional injustice is being exposed. You've underestimated me, she says softly, almost a whisper. And now everyone sees it. Richard's shoulders slump. The facade is gone. His power, once unchecked, now under scrutiny. The chapter closes on Maya standing at the front, calm, resolute, having turned systemic bias into documented evidence, and poised to enforce real change. Cliffhanger, Richard faces consequences, but the emotional and professional fallout is only beginning. The office floor is quieter than usual. Whispers ripple like a current. Colleagues glance at Richard Hale differently now, hesitant, uncertain. Maya walks through the space. Head high, every step measured, calm. The air hums with tension and realization. Evan approaches cautiously. Director Carter, everything okay? Yes, Maya says. We're correcting what needed correction. Richard sits at his desk, papers stacked neatly before him, eyes darting around. He looks smaller, stripped of unchecked authority. HR enters, clipboard in hand. Richard, we'll need your cooperation with ongoing reviews, they say. He swallows, nods. No protest. Silence fills the gap where arrogance once stood. Maya pauses by a colleague's desk. We're keeping the team informed, she says. No favoritism. No blind spots. The employees nod. Relief, curiosity, and cautious respect mingle in their expressions. The energy begins to shift. Later, Maya sits in her office, reflecting. The cost is visible. Tension has left marks, exhaustion in her shoulders, tightness in her jaw. But resilience shines in her eyes. Her phone vibrates. Messages of support from allies she hadn't expected. Notes of gratitude from colleagues who had felt silenced. You did it, Lena says quietly, leaning in. We did it, Maya corrects. Together. But it's not over yet. A glance out the window shows the city alive and indifferent, yet somehow different to her now. Richard approaches her office door. Tentative. Director Carter. I'll comply, he mutters. Good, Maya says. Calm. Firm. Poised. It's about doing the right thing, not saving face. The camera lingers on her, eyes steady, hands resting lightly on the desk. The office has shifted. The balance of power has changed, but the emotional cost, the trauma, the exhaustion, is quietly evident. Justice, she whispers under her breath. It's never clean, but it can be real. The chapter closes on Maya standing by the window, shoulders squared, knowing that resilience and fairness carry their own weight, but they also carry victory. Cliffhanger, Richard's influence diminished, the institution exposed, Maya confronts the lingering emotional toll and prepares to guide the department forward. Maya walks through the office floor one last time before the public announcement. The hum of keyboards, soft chatter, and faint laughter feels different now. She notices nods, glances of acknowledgement, respect quietly earned. Her reflection catches in the glass wall. She barely recognizes herself, eyes sharper, posture straighter, presence undeniable. The weight of the battles fought rests on her shoulders, but she stands taller than ever. Lena rushes to her side. You did it, Maya. You really did it. We did it, Maya corrects softly. It wasn't just me. It was everyone who refused to stay silent. Richard sits in the back corner of the room, subdued. He avoids eye contact, small in a space he once dominated. Maya doesn't gloat. She simply observes. Justice is quiet, controlled, earned. Her phone buzzes, messages of support, congratulations, and tentative admiration from former colleagues. Some she never expected. It's not perfect, she murmurs to Lena. No, Lena agrees, but it's a start. Maya reflects. The system hasn't completely changed. Bias still exists. Subtle microaggressions linger. But now authority is balanced. Voices silenced are heard. Decisions are transparent. And she has the power to ensure fairness moving forward. I'll keep them accountable, Maya whispers. Not just for me, but for everyone who comes after. The city skyline glows through the window. The streets bustle with life, indifferent yet somehow symbolic. The battles fought, the injustice exposed, and the authority reclaimed, all leave marks. Maya takes a deep breath, feeling the exhaustion and quiet triumph. There's loss, tension, and fatigue, but also clarity, strength, and resilience. I'm still standing, she says softly, voice steady. The camera pans out. Maya framed by glass and city light, calm, poised, victorious, not because the fight is over, but because she endured, adapted, and transformed injustice into change. The chapter closes on her standing in quiet reflection, the office alive around her, the system exposed but reforming, and her resilience shining unmistakably. Cliffhanger, none. The story ends with poetic justice and bittersweet victory. Maya victorious but aware of the emotional and systemic costs. Weeks have passed. Maya sits in her new corner office, sunlight pouring over the skyline. Papers, reports, and dashboards cover her desk, but she feels different, lighter, more purposeful. The office is alive, yet respectful. Employees approach her with ideas, questions, concerns. They listen. They collaborate. Trust, once broken, is slowly being rebuilt. Lena knocks and enters. Big meeting with the board this afternoon, she says. I know, Maya replies, smiling faintly. Let's make sure we focus on solutions, not blame. Richard steps in, quieter now, cautious but cooperative. Director Carter, he begins. Richard, Maya interrupts, calm. We move forward as a team. That's how change lasts. He nods, accepting the role of subordinate, but there's tension still lingering, remnants of old pride, now reshaped by accountability. Maya glances at the city through the glass wall. The streets buzz with life, indifferent yet full of potential. She reflects on the battles, the silenced voices, and the courage it took to claim authority. It's not perfect, she murmurs. No, Lena agrees, but it's better. Much better. Maya opens her laptop and reviews the next set of strategic plans, new mentorship programs, diversity initiatives, equitable promotion pathways. Every decision now carries both authority and responsibility. We build differently, she says softly. We lead differently. Her phone buzzes. Another email, this time from a rising female manager who wants advice on navigating bias. Maya smiles, remembering herself at that stage, and types a careful, encouraging reply. Lead with skill, not fear, she writes. And never let anyone define your worth. The chapter closes on Maya standing by the window, overlooking the city. Her reflection merges with the skyline. She is both part of the system and above it. Poised, aware, and still standing. Cliffhanger, subtle the fight for equity continues, but Maya now holds the tools, authority, and resilience to shape the future, both for herself and those who follow. Maya arrives early, as always. The office smells of coffee and ambition, keyboards clacking like a rhythm of productivity. She glances at the conference room, where a small group of young managers waits. Some nervous, some skeptical. All curious. Thank you for coming, Maya says, voice calm, steady. Today, we start something different. A young woman raises her hand. Director Carter, what if we push too hard? What if we face resistance like you did? Maya smiles faintly. She remembers every dismissal, every whispered slight, every door that closed in her face. Resistance is part of change, she says. It's unavoidable. What matters is how you respond. She walks slowly around the room. Every step measured, deliberate. Eyes meet eyes. Silence stretches. Lead with integrity, not fear. Speak up, even when your voice shakes. And always document everything. The young managers nod, some taking notes. Some just staring, absorbing. Her phone buzzes. A message from Karen Liu, board meeting at 3 p.m. Strategy review. I'll be brief, Maya says, because you need to see how strategy meets action. She opens a laptop, projecting charts, reports, and audit timelines. Promotions, pay equity, mentorship programs, all carefully structured. We're not just correcting mistakes, she says. We're building systems that prevent them. One manager looks uneasy. But what about people like Richard? She asks quietly. Maya's gaze sharpens, but she doesn't falter. People like him will adapt. Some won't. That's why structure matters. Authority alone isn't enough, you need accountability. Her reflection catches in the glass wall. She's no longer the overlooked employee. She's the authority, the strategist, the mentor. The office door opens. Richard steps in, cautious, professional. He avoids eye contact at first but then meets her gaze. Director Carter, the department is responding well, he says. Good, she replies. Calm, controlled. And you? Learning, he admits. Quiet, honest. I see now how much I underestimated. Focus on the work, Maya interrupts gently. The rest follows. The young managers exchange glances. Witnessing this dynamic is a lesson in itself, how authority, fairness, and strategy can coexist. Maya glances out the window. The city stretches endlessly, full of opportunity, risk, and change. She imagines the ripple effect, employees mentored, bias exposed, new leaders trained. Every decision we make, she says, affects those who come after us. Build wisely. Her phone buzzes again. Another email, this time a request from a rising female executive in another city, seeking guidance. Maya types a careful reply. Advice tempered with strategy, encouragement, and reality. The fight isn't over, she whispers. But it's moving forward. And it's moving with purpose. She stands, straightens her blazer, and looks at her team. Eyes bright, attentive, ready. The chapter closes on Maya at the window, overseeing her domain. The reflection of the skyline merges with her silhouette, strength, vision, and the seeds of a legacy in motion. Cliffhanger, Maya's influence is growing beyond her immediate office. But as her mentorship spreads, unseen resistance stares, hinting at new challenges ahead. Maya sits at her desk early, reviewing reports from multiple departments. The numbers are improving, promotion equity, retention, mentorship programs, but something feels off. A series of flagged emails appear on her screen. Complaints, subtle resistance, passive-aggressive notes from managers refusing to adapt. The system she's building is working, but not without friction. Every victory breeds new battles, Maya mutters under her breath. Karen Liu enters, brisk as always. Director Carter, the board wants a briefing, she says. There's been pushback in one region. Resistance to the new policies. Expected, Maya replies, eyes scanning the reports. Prepare a summary. I'll address it directly. Later, Maya walks into the regional office. The tension hits immediately, employees whisper, eyes flick toward her. Some avoid eye contact entirely. She notices subtle power dynamics at play, managers protecting old habits, employees unsure who to trust. Good morning, Maya says, calm but commanding. We're here to discuss how we move forward, together. One senior manager speaks up, voice tight. Director Carter, some of these changes, they disrupt the workflow. People are uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable, Maya replies, voice steady. But comfort cannot outweigh fairness. We correct inequity for everyone, not just those who feel threatened. The manager shifts in his chair. Another whispers under his breath. Maya hears it, marked difficult. Yes, she says, voice low, eyes meeting his. Marked difficult for injustice. Marked accountable for fairness. That's the label I accept. Her team listens, some nodding, some hesitant, all watching. Power, once unseen, now visible. Back at headquarters, Richard watches from the sidelines. His learned compliance, but unease still shadows him. His team respects Maya, some even quietly admire her. But loyalty to old habits lingers. Maya reviews the reports again. Missteps are highlighted, but potential solutions stand out. Her mind calculates, anticipates, adapts. Every challenge is a test of authority, empathy, and strategy. Her phone buzzes, a message from a young executive she mentored remotely. Your guidance changed how we approach leadership here. Thank you. Maya smiles faintly, but the satisfaction is tempered. Leadership isn't victory, it's endurance. This isn't the end, she murmurs. It's just the beginning of the real work. The chapter closes on Maya standing by the window, the skyline vast behind her. The city pulses with life, opportunities, and resistance. She knows every step forward will test her resolve, and that unseen forces are already moving against her. Cliffhanger, Maya's authority is growing, but resistance spreads quietly, threatening to challenge not just her policies, but her ability to maintain influence and fairness.